Welcome to a Born Again original. I just wanted to make this video just because it's pretty rare you see people saying Freemasons by name in an interview, especially on one at such a large scale. So we're going to go about halfway back. I think they or maybe, you know what, we'll watch the whole thing. It's only 3 minutes.
You actually performed at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago for...
Oh, yeah.
Was it the celebration for his election or something?
No,
what was it?
I played for. It was a party. It was a Christmas party.
Well, it's interesting that they always bring up Trump being a bad guy and all that stuff, but in reality, Trump is actually playing the lighter side of Freemasonry, because if you guys remember, like, his whole little online cult, they were painting him as someone who was cleaning out the elites and exposing the elites, but we all know that, I don't know, he's just playing the light side of Freemasonry.
This Christmas party. Play for a holiday party.
New Year's Eve party.
New Year's party. Sorry.
New Year's Eve party.
New Year's. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I played for New Year's. He's a legend, bro. Trump. Forget about the presidency. First of all, I don't vote. I don't care about politics. Never have. Never registered. Have no opinion about anything. I have fans on both sides of all that, and I would never alienate them. And I just look at it like, you guys get caught up in that mess. You go sit in your voting line. They don't pay you. They don't pay you to go form an opinion about that guy or this guy. But yet you fall victim to all.
So we're exposing a little bit of truth here about divide and conquer, their tactics they use on people through the media. Makes sense.
Of it, right? Like, turn the news channel off. Go to Florida. This is why Florida exists. We have palm trees and pina coladas while you're sitting in your voting line, watching your news channel going, I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I don't like what's going on in my life. You're 50-something, right? Like me?
50.
So we've lived through dozens of presidents, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing ever changed. Why would you fall victim to the propaganda, to the opinion forming? They don't pay you a penny. Now let's look at the end of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have a list. What did I spend on?
Yeah, which is a good, fair point. And, you know, that is a lot of what people in our situation, those who are living day to day and working our normal jobs, a lot of people get distracted by the media and take it very serious. They, yeah.
All this time on.
Who did I vote
Let's
for?
calculate all of it together and put it in a circle graph, and then you'll see that the graph that you thought was an hour on TV here one night, 2 hours on TV, watching the news or the debate, or standing in a voting line, and then you'll go, how much did they pay me for any of that? Zero. How much money could I have made with all that time? A lot. How many pina coladas and beer and good times could have I been having instead of sitting in a voting line or having an opinion or a conversation just about Trump for 2 hours with my grandma or something?
Yeah.
Try me. Watch what I do. I've become an expert at changing opinions and different things and the whole topic. I'm just like, listen, you got to understand that you're falling victim. Don't be the sheep. If everyone jumps off the freaking cliff, are you going to jump off it too? Of course you're going to say no, but you're all being sheep. Wisdom.
Which is, like, okay, an interesting thing, because I don't know, when you have celebrities come out and say this type of thing, it can usually be for their self-benefit or to truly try to get people out of a place of living in a cycle. I don't really think that he's famous enough to really be worrying about his connections or anything, so I think this is a genuine conversation, to be honest.
Is a thing that we all need, and Generation X knows it more than anybody on the planet. And I feel sorry for the kids growing up in this world today, playing Fortnite and shit. That's not reality. Let's get real, man. Reality is what you and I are doing right now. We're talking in person, public, and seeing each other, not through a computer screen. Mm-hmm. We are the last living generation that'll ever know what it's like to live without a computer. That'll never happen again. We are the last living ones.
That's true. No, everyone's growing up with computers now. Everyone's growing up with cell phones.
That's very true. I did grow up around a computer, playing video games, that type of thing. I think most people did. So for the 50-year-olds and all that, they would be the last generation, which is kind of a sad thought. You see our generation slowly getting, like, desensitized by the internet to sinful acts or just being evil. These people see murders on the internet. Yeah, you can see a lot of the degradation of society through the internet since it's been introduced to humanity. That's for sure. But it is like a massive brain control or mind control tool, which makes sense.
Cyber world is not real.
Little kids have iPhone watches now. It starts early.
Exactly my point, man.
Yes.
It's all basically set up for you to be a sheep. It's, you know what I call it? The carrot and the rabbit technique. They all, the people who are using it, whether they're Freemasons, politicians, whoever they are, news channels, everybody.
He basically called the Freemasons out directly. So that's actually very interesting. Fair enough to him. Who knows what he was involved with in the past? We know that he was blackballed by the music industry, I think. I don't think he's famous anymore, so he's obviously in a position where he has no ties. We could probably speak about this stuff freely. That's why he brought up Freemasonry. So I'm just going to pause that right now, and I'm going to go to Freemasonry to show you a little bit of the history of it. And yeah. So basically, Freemasonry is a global organization for people who are in a higher order of society. It can be mayors, it can be police officers, it can be doctors, really anybody of a higher stature is what they're looking for. So Freemasonry started way back in the day. They used to practice secret religions because Christianity banned paganism, and that is essentially what Freemasonry is. It's just paganism brought back and taught in a different way. Like when I say paganism, I mean ancient mysteries, the worship of demons and entities that are not God. So anyway, they profess a belief in a supreme being. So we're going to get into that. Well, yeah, God, obviously, but I'll show you what they admit to. Albert Pike, he was the highest 33rd degree level you can get in Freemasonry. There's higher levels in cults, but 33rd degree is the highest in Freemasonry. There are other cults above them. Maybe I'll get into in another video at some point, but yeah. I'm going to end the video off with exactly who their supreme being would be, and we'll get into the ritual and symbolism. Sometimes they call themselves a Christian fraternity. They're not. I don't think these are Christian symbols. See? Order of the Knights Templar, Order of the Knights of Malta. The Knights Templar worshipped Baphomet. If you look back in the history. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to pause the screen recording for a moment. Alright, and we're back. So, this guy basically says that which we must say to the crowd is we worship a God, but is a God that one adores without superstition to you. This that you may repeat to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30 degrees. Those, I believe those are the degrees that after you find out you're worshiping Lucifer, possibly. And by all of us, and the initiates of the high degrees, maintain in purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would add an A. Jesus, wow, spread harmful statements about him. Yes, Lucifer is God. That is exactly what Lucifer would want you to believe. It's just a really serious spiritual battle. You can tell who the God of this world is based on the people who worship Lucifer are in the higher parts of society. Those who are Christians, you can only make it to a certain level being a true Christian without having to sacrifice some of your morals. Anyway, I just thought the interview was interesting that he would bring it up by name. Yeah, you don't really see people go right out and say it in an interview, especially one that might get a bunch of views. But who knows too, right? There's always people playing to the double side. Some people expose Freemasonry just to get you to look into things. Maybe want you to chase that sacred religion, or yeah, because there's more coming out about Freemasonry. There's more public information coming out about Freemasonry that people could probably practice it on their own. I don't know. But thank you again for listening, and that's it for now.